microphone. This is basically a by request video. The subject matter kind of, it's like as soon as you bring up words like, infinity or spontaneous, random, these are all words that get you in big trouble. Another word or phrase is free will. And, we've sort of been going over this subject with the modern mystic, and I don't know where it's heading, but I mean, there's value in trying to understand this goo in our heads. I mean, there's value in trying to understand how it works, and then we can use it to its best efficiency. But, these words are just made for tripping over. Alright, so preface this by saying, there's no such thing as free anything in the universe. Okay, everything is cause and effect. Everything was predestined. The minute the Big Bang banged, every bit of energy was put on its course, and that course is not altered by any magic dust or any mystical anything. It's follows crude scientific laws, and so theoretically, every molecular bounce, everything that happens in the universe could have been predicted if you have knowledge of every atomic particle. But anyway, so what I'm saying now is all predestined. It's not free will. As much as I feel like it's really happening, as much as I feel like it's spontaneously bubbling out of my brain, there is no spontaneous. I am a programmed machine. I have been programmed by intelligence. I've been programmed by nature. So I have these two things, this natural programming that's built into me, conditioning that three things. Conditioning that I've acquired, through inadvertent associations created, that created an emotional conditioning. And then by this third thing called intelligence, which is basically information. It is an arrangement of stuff that has order and is disciplined by logic, and that we call reasoning. And that intelligence is centuries old. It is built on all of these predecessors that had thoughts and created an idea, and then that idea just keeps reliving. We keep constantly re-hammering the ideas and concepts and making them more precise and polishing them and heading towards ultimately a perfection of intelligence, a perfect intelligence. I mean, obviously perfection is always elusive, but the point is it's a refinement, a constant refinement, a constant finishing of theory, of idea, of concept. And so in this kind of conversation, my objection to saying overtly and plainly that there is no such thing as free will is it just has to do with the practicals. It has to do with the fact that once you say something like that, then you imply that there's no longer responsibility. And my argument would be is that responsibility gets complicated, but the fact is we have intelligence and we can make choices based on that knowledge. Because I have learned to appreciate intelligence, I mean, I could spend this time playing with myself, I mean, I can do a lot of things I'd rather be doing than thinking and trying to convey an idea. But intelligence gives me the choice. Intelligence provides for me the understanding that there are things more important than my own gratification from moment to moment, that there are bigger ideas in the universe that need attention. And so I that's my discomfort with anybody arguing that there's no free will, because we have to take responsibility for what we do with ourselves, for what we do with this capacity to think, how we use it. If we're just going to use it to make, eat Fruit Loops, we're not accomplishing anything. We're an insult to the intelligence. We might as well not have the intelligence if we can't be inspired to do something more with it than jerk off. So that's my objection. But yes, there is no such thing as free will. If I'm forced to answer the question without any context, but the context is important. So that's, in understanding this stuff, this mush, I've made the analogy. I mean, it is software. It is software that can learn. We are essentially, we talk of artificial intelligence. We are artificial intelligence. We possess this arrangement, and that's all it is. It isn't a material thing. It's an arrangement. It's an order of process. Like a software program, and that process has as it is it's self-refining, it's self-improving. Each new bit of information is processed and added, and changes the priorities, changes the emphasis, changes the disposition of the machine, and makes it even a better thinking machine, or it can make it a worse thinking machine. We can stumble over our own thoughts. We can stumble over the extra fear that might be induced by perceptions of reality that scare us. I mean, there's both positives and negatives. It's not there's nothing pure about it. We can trip over intelligence, but the likelihood is that intelligence is going to provide us with choices, and it's going to make us better, not worse, and it's going to make us more capable of optimizing our existence here, of getting the most out of it in terms of what we produce. And then that gets to be a whole nother equation, is that some people live for their own happiness. That's as far as they see, and I certainly can argue that that's seeing nothing. That's understanding nothing. That's not intelligent living, because there's certain intelligent concepts. I mean, all you need is a few of these intelligent little concepts, these little ideas, and your whole orientation as a human being is changed. If you really believe we are all created equal, if you really believe you should do unto others as others would have to do unto you, just because of the practical logic of it, that you wouldn't treat an equal less than yourself. It doesn't make any sense. If they are equal, then you have to consider them all, and you have to consider where's the most efficient place to devote your energies in terms of optimizing your capacity to do something productive. And maybe that isn't serving yourself. Maybe that is serving someone else or some other mission. So this is what intelligence does, though. It changes human beings. It is a very powerful thing, and it isn't something that it isn't free will. There's nothing, like I said, I am an ordered organism that was predestined, but it feels like free will. It feels like I'm doing something original, and it is certainly unique. I mean, I've acquired a unique intelligence. Every individual has a unique intelligence, and it has bugs, and it has dirt, and it has nonsense in it, and we all have to work at trying to filter that out and making it as pure as we can make it. But what I'm saying is, so here, if you believe in these basic concepts of equality, and if you understand the concept of efficiency, then this all becomes life almost becomes an equation, a mathematical equation. Well, what shall I do next? Well, let me list these things, these choices I have, and let me figure out which one's going to optimize or produce the maximum benefit and the maximum gain for whatever it's going to cost. And as part of this discussion, we even got into a discussion of bravery and what that concept is, and it's sort of a good illustration, because bravery is easy if you have less intelligence to overcome. The more you know about what you're getting yourself into, the more inhibited you're going to be in terms of your capacity to act. And that's where intelligence gets kind of fuzzy, because sometimes you can know too much, but there's other times when deluding yourself with fantasy and fairy tales that are pleasant and simple might make it more pleasant for you, but it doesn't make you more productive, because you're not realizing how much potential you're throwing in the garbage, because you're only using your intelligence to satisfy one thing, yourself. And that's limits your potential, that limits your capacity. So anyway, psychologically this has benefit. It has benefit. So anyway, time is up.